is the nocturnal work. Can't even say my own name. Let's try that again. Hi folks, this is the nocturnal work. Thank you for clicking on my video. If you are new to this channel, welcome. If you've been to this channel before and you've seen my videos, welcome back. It's great to have you here. I'm just flicking with OBS whilst I talk. So today's episode of Intro 2, we're going to be playing the Stanley Parable. Now this is a bit of an odd episode of Intro 2 because normally we play the first 2 hours of the game and then we talk about it afterwards and we just know what it might be like when we play further and stuff like that. Unfortunately, either way, this is going to be a bit of a weird episode because, according to all my sources, the Stanley Parable is only an hour and a half long. So this is still an episode of an intro too, but we will probably end up playing the whole game. So let's move over to the game. Now, straight away, there are a few odd things about this game. First of all, in order to record, I need to put the game in a window, and the window is only actually taking up about a third of my screen, maybe a half, if we're pushing it. And it won't let me make it any bigger.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Right.
Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so very quickly, I'm just going to finish saying what I was saying a second ago. Just change the settings on my mouse a bit. There we go, that's better. So I'm taking a bit of a risk with the music. I've had some issues with some of my other Intro 2 episodes in that it's tried to... YouTube has decided that I can't use the music from the games.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
As I was saying, so I've done a quick Google search, and as far as I can tell, there isn't any copyright music in this game. If there is, then I'm afraid segments of this video will have to be muted. A bit like some of my other videos may be muted. I'm actually in the process now sorting some of those out. If you watched my episode last week, I played Star Wars The Old Republic. That was... I'm recording this episode the day after I finished recording that, and I had some issues with that with music rights. So I'm trying to sort that out now. So that...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
As I was saying, so I apologise if last week's episode had bits muted in it, but on to the Stanley Parable. What did he say? He said left, didn't he? Do I want to go left? No, I'm going to go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
So I've had all sorts of people raving about this
Yes,
game.
truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
No, I didn't.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, I've heard all sorts of people raving about this game, so I thought I'd give it a go. I don't know too much about it, I'll
Look,
admit.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door. Do I want to annoy him, or do I want to get on with the game? I want to hear him complain again.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ah, fine.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
An open door. To nowhere.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
It's very nice. But I'm going to go back down here.
No, wait. Where are you going?
What's through here?
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. No! Oh, thank God. No. No, no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Fine.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you? No.
Bored of it.
Perhaps not.
I love how it's.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over?
There we go.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
I feel somewhat bad now, but there we go. Okay. Having a bit trouble with my mouse, so I'm just gonna. Give me one sec. There we go. That should be better. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a
So
set
going
of
through
two
the
open
left door.
doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Right, let's go up to the office then.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I want to see if there's something else I can do
There
in
was
there.
nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
See if it says anything else.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Downstairs, good.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no
I'm going round
reason
in
at
a
all.
circle now.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he walked on? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
They
Were
are. I
simply
was just
repeated?
saying that.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers
Oh,
weren't
why am I
actually
going round in
gone.
a circle?
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Who's talking?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Right.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Alright, let's do it.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh dear.
Stanley began screaming. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh dear.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Right. Okay. So, I think that means that I lost and have to start again. Yeah. Alright, this time I'll try and do as I'm told. I really like
When
how
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
you're sort of... It's telling you exactly what to do.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
And
wave
yet-
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might find an aunt coming to a staircase, Stanley
Right.
walked
I'm
upstairs to his boss's office.
going to stand still so I can actually say something. I feel like they've done the voiceover very well in that it's telling you exactly what to do, but you still sort of want to ignore it. But then you sort of feel bad for ignoring it. It's just a very good way they've done it. Very impressed.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Right. This appears to be an elevator. There we go. Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. I'd like to apologise for some of the background noise. As I said
Stanley walked
before,
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
sure, why not? As I said, I'd like to apologise for the background noise. As I said before, you know, I live in the bottom floor of a
Although this passageway had
block
the
of
word
flats.
escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, I live on the bottom floor of a block of flats, so
The
I do
door
get
behind him was not
a lot
shut.
of thoroughfare.
Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah. Just want to see what would happen. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of thoroughfare around me. So I apologise
As
for
the
that
machine whirred into
noise.
motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Sure. Bring on the Crushinator. Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a
What?
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Right. That didn't happen though.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Corridor. This is weird. I don't know if I like this. Yeah, so I apologise for the noise every now and then. It won't... Well, I'll try my best to make it so that it doesn't interrupt too much, but there's not really much control I have over it. But in about 6 months' time, I will be moving, and I will not be on the ground floor anymore. So, at that point, we won't need to worry about background noise, which will be really nice. I'm just having a bit of a look around, because I think, well, I don't know. I feel a bit like I've done something wrong. That, or I've done incredibly well and I've finished the game in 27 minutes. I'm not going to read all of this because that will take forever and it won't make for a very good stream. Sending mobile. Okay, so that is all stuff. Okay, so I think I'll come back here whenever I die.
At these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You
I'm
can still
dead
save
confused.
these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
I don't know
As
if I
long as
trust
you
them.
move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Okay. Okay. Let's try this again.
This is the story of a man.
Okay. Okay, let's try
Even now,
not to die.
Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
So it
When
is now
Stanley came
different.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Let's try this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I love that their step 3
Coming to
there
a staircase,
was
Stanley walked upstairs to
don't
his
get
boss's
fired.
office.
That's sort of like there are 3 steps to flying a plane. Get in the plane, turn on the engine, fly the plane. Doesn't really help all that
Stepping
much.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it be? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Sorry.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh no. Not New Age music, no. Oh.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Here we go. This time we're doing as we're told. Let's go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Here we go. Lights.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No. Click the big button.
Now the monitors jumped to life,
Oh.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under
Quiet.
someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I don't know.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
I don't
Had he
know.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Let's go through here and
Here
find
was
out.
the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
Okay.
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, so that's number 1. Number 4. So I'm guessing that's the 4th one I have to press. Although maybe I'm thinking too linearly. Too much linear. I'm thinking too much linear. That's what I'm going with. Because I can't say the word. That's 5. System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this
I should have pressed on.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
And then he was shot in the
And yet,
face.
Even as the immense doors slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking. but happiness. Perhaps
Oh.
his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Once it finishes opening.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, isn't that nice? Okay, so apparently I've beaten the game. That only took me half an hour. So we're gonna look for some alternate endings, I think.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Done.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right, so I think the plan now is I'm going to go back to the machine and I am going to press
Okay,
on
I think we all know
instead.
the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
I love how sassy the narrator is. Now I think something we've all got to think about very seriously is that it's called the Stanley Parable, and parable means a story with a message behind it. So we've got to think about what the message of this story
Stanley
is.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What can you take from this game?
The lights rose
In case you
on
can't
an
tell, I'm
enormous
taking
room
the
packed
mic.
with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did
Oh,
he
choking
have
on my
the
drink,
strength
sorry.
to find out?
Oh, apologies for that. I'm actually going to pause while I sort myself out, sorry. Right, I'm sorry about that. Had a bit of a coughing fit there. I'm drinking some Diet Coke and it went down the wrong hole. But I am still alive, so we will keep going. Right, so 427 was over here somewhere. I want to see
Now
how
the
much their
monitors
attention to
jumped to
detail
life,
is.
their true nature
427,
revealed.
there, dead ahead of
Each bore
us.
the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's
Just an empty
co-workers.
desk.
The lives of so many individuals
Nothing
reduced to
interesting.
images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
It was 427, wasn't it? I think it was.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Probably.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me,
3.
where we're going.
I don't know where 3 is.
I barely know
Is
where
that
to
3?
start.
That's 1, 2.
What's that? You need to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
1.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
1.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley. You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
3.
To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
I don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it cut, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in.
No. Well, that didn't go well. One moment, I'm just fiddling with OBS for a second. Okay, this is going to take a while, so I'm going to quickly pause it while I sort this out. Sorry. Okay, you've missed about 2 minutes of me talking because I didn't realise I hadn't unpaused it. Sorry about having to pause it. That was a OBS issue. But it is now
When
sold.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
So I've decided to
Wow.
believe him
Yes, this room.
when he says
But
that
eager to get back to
I
business,
can't survive
Stanley
the
took the
ending.
first open door on his left.
Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So I've decided to believe him when he says that there is no way through without blowing up. So I can't turn the
But
mind
Stanley
control
didn't
machine
want
on.
to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Left. Left sounds boring. Just trying all the doors. Let's go through
Oh,
there.
no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay, are you sure? Right, down here.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The answer is yes, we are going off track again.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Well, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
What?
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Let's go through here. Oh. This way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Don't know.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. There's an open door there. We go through here. Right, all the way back to
Aha!
here.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
What? Where are we? What's going
Now
on?
this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
What?
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, okay.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Following the line. Oh. This isn't the way we did it the first time.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply
Ooh.
by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Bum, 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 bum. That's a bit loud on my thing, so I'm going to turn it a bit down for you guys. Oh. Oh my goodness.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
Fern?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. It's a fern. Right, let's go.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Okay. Let's go.
You know what, Stanley? I forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
I'm up for it.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Better not be dragging around this character.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Not acknowledging it. I'm actively looking away from it. Oh,
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
okay.
How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay. So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I mean, that made no sense at all.
Oh, hold up, hold this. The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
Let's see.
And we're supposed to restart the
The
game
main things.
eight
First restart.
times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
No longer
So
an
now,
office.
according to the
Space.
schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
Nonsense
Why
philosophy
don't
and
I
music.
get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be.
I love
I don't
this.
want the game to keep restarting. I don't
This is
want to forget
brilliant.
what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
Get bored.
someone
Leave.
come for us?
Need to restart again.
Will something happen? So, okay.
Can I sit on the
I guess
chair?
now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Oh. Force restart.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, where are we going?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This one. Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance
Been down
section,
there.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Can I go backwards? No. That's a shame.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, he didn't. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do that one again. That's where you just walk in circles for ages, isn't it? I know of at least one ending I've missed. So I'll try and
Here's
find
the
that.
door, just go.
I'm gonna see if this annoys him somewhat. Oh, I can't. Right, 2. What was it? 2, 8, 4, 5. Through the door. I thought that might annoy him. I was wrong. Okay. Yeah, so I think there's one more ending I haven't
Stanley
found.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Right. So I'm on track to get an ending that I've already had. So I apologise, but I'll just get through to it. Well, I don't apologise actually.
Images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Because actually nothing's gone wrong. I'm just
It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had
doing it
Stanley really
the
been
same
under
way
someone's
again.
control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Probably.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright, so we already know that I can't disable the countdown, but I want to see if there's some way I can change the ending.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes, I
After
did.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
Right, I'm not going to do anything.
Moments each one of them is.
I'm just going to watch the
More
countdown
time
clock.
to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Sorry.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before.
Because I mean, last time he was having a go at me about running around trying to press buttons, but if I'm not pressing buttons, I wonder what he'll say.
What happened to them? I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Oh.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness,
Right.
only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Just watching it go down.
Dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
No.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on
No,
every
I'm
little
not.
thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Not really.
But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me, a glitching explosion of fire and metal, over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30
I ain't
seconds
struggling.
Till a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Cool with me.
Cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
Peacefully.
Choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
And now he should wake up. Okay, so I think there's one more ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And I think to get that ending... Well, I think I know how to get that ending. So I'm going to go right.
Came to a set of two open. This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
And then I'm going to go straight through.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Straight through the employee lounge.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, he didn't. He went straight through.
Stanley was so bad at
side.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Can I throw myself off?
But in his eagerness to prove
There's
that he's
two.
in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I know, right? Right, so there are two more endings. I have one more to find, I think.
Can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Employee lounge.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean,
What?
truly, deeply, madly love. Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paint. But eager to get back to business,
Here we
Stanley
go.
took the first open door on his left.
No, I don't. I ignore it.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Does this open? No. So, last time we went through there. This time we're going to go straight ahead.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
Who is this?
There's
Because their
someone
voice
you've
is
been
really
neglecting,
familiar.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
Kevin Brighting.
I'm asking for her.
Do I know Kevin Brighting? Or know of Kevin Brighting?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, he's in lots of things. I think that's why I recognise his voice. I'll have a look at that in my own time later. Okay. So that's the way they want me to go. I don't want to go the way they want me to go. But I don't think I've got a choice. Oh, an empty room.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if I don't pick up the phone? I'm just going to leave it there. Let it ring. Okay. Let's pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Who'd want to commit their life to you?
Rude.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? 3.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
0.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
8.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Why?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Fee.
As he wandered through this fantasy
Oh, it's
world,
changing into my
he began to
office.
fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
A game with a baby?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
0.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Right, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Keeping an eye on the time just in case. This is exhilarating. It's not going to do it. It's practicing not doing it. Okay, it's now been 2 minutes, or thereabouts, so I'm going to do it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press 8 to question nothing.
I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply put him to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And
I think I died. And so I should wake up in my office. Okay.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting
Right.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly.
I think that
Perhaps
room
he
with the
wanted to stop
phone,
by the employee lounge first, to admire it.
I think there's
The
some
lounge was
way.
grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I think there's something else in that room with the phone. It
Stanley was
just,
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
my gamer senses are tingling.
Stanley, I think
It
perhaps
feels
we've
like there's
gotten off
something
on the
else in
wrong
there.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This
But
is
she
it,
doesn't
Stanley.
exist.
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's
Okay.
her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another...
Haha, I can unplug
you
it.
can't. Did you just unplug the phone? That
Yes.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
Just what?
You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful
Oh,
instructional
yes.
video.
Let's see it.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations, or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I am supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having it. I'm not going to
Making
finish that
choices on a
sentence.
regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome
Okay.
back. You
Will
may
do.
have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This
Right,
way,
okay.
please. Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Right, okay. This is weird because I'm now going backwards. Alright, so we're going back through the break room.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you're home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Let's do
When
this.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, I really hope we're too late.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of it? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh. Dystopian universe.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
You're welcome.
What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a
Nope.
world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Here we go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
They've
upstairs
removed
to
it.
his boss's office.
Oh.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver
It's
next
changed
to it.
again.
Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Do I actually have to say it? Night Shark 117. No. No, I knew that wouldn't work.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. What am I supposed to do?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. Stanley came to a set of two open doors. He hit the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Thank you for playing.
Can you hear me? Is everything alright? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You can't be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the
Thank you, Galactic Cafe. And everyone that worked on this thing as well.
right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
There we go. Right. I'm going to quickly jump onto Steam, so you'll still be looking at Stanley. And I just want to see if I've missed anything. Right, let's have a go at some of these. What's my flips? Achievements. So, tell you what, if I very quickly jump onto OBS, I can show you these achievements. 1 second. Window capture. These I should be able to show you these achievements. Okay, here we go. So if we just zoom on over like so. So these are our achievements. We've already got one that says beat the game. There are 10 in total. Now some of them I won't be able to get. Complete the Stanley Parable in under 4.5 minutes. Quit the game and then start it again. Play for the entire of a Tuesday. Well, spoiler alert, it's not Tuesday. I'm afraid to say that this is recorded on a Sunday, so not going to get that. we can go and click on 435 times. We can do that now. I'm not coming back in 5 years to get that. I don't know how to get that. What I'm going to do is, just because, you know, I've done most of the game now, I'm going to try and get some of these achievements. Just because it's feels like something worth doing. So,
Stanley decided to go to the
3,
meeting room.
4.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Right.
Suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Right, I think I'm almost there for that. I don't know how many times I clicked it.
I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true
Right.
effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks could do it.
So,
Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
let's see how many it actually makes me do. Quality content.
No, I'm still not feeling it.
Oh.
I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Let's go find it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Great.
Oh, that
Now,
was 20.
go click a few times on door 437.
Oh. I will get this achievement. That's 430. 426. 417. Where is door 437?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or
Ah. 417. 415. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh. I better get an achievement.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Are they just taking the piss? Was
Okay,
it?
now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Climb?
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
This.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did it!
There we go.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Right. Let's see what else is on there that I can do today. Just filling for time now, really. Quit the game and then restart. Oh. Okay, I can do that. quit to menu and begin.
This is the story.
Click to skip. Did I not get the achievement for that? Okay, actually what I'm going to do is there is a option for a speedrun version. So we're going to speedrun it. Here we go. 4 minutes 22. Fast as we
His
can.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A lot more paper on the floor than I remember.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Into the office.
Here's the door.
There's the
Just
door.
go.
This takes me down. Right, round the corner, round the corner.
Stanley walked
Downstairs.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, and press the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Cross here. Where's the button? Where's the button? There.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay, and then click on that one.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again.
There we go. Very quick.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, I didn't get an achievement for that. I am just looking, and some of the achievements are a bit confusing. So I'm just looking on my phone. So we've got the 431, we've got beat the game. There is one that says try and jump. There you go, I just got that one. You just have to try and jump in a couple of times. The other thing we can do, that I will try now, is we can close the game entirely. So you now should be seeing a black screen. And then we open the game up again. If I can find it. Sorry, 1 second. And hopefully you can see I just got an achievement for that as well. So if I take you back to... Actually no, I'll keep you on that for a second. Bear with. Okay, so I'm not going to do all the achievements. Instead, I'm just going to talk you through some of them, because I can't really do all of them. And I'll tell you why. Okay, so hopefully you should be now looking at my Steam page. So we've got this one here. This is just called Achievement. Let's see if I can find this on there, sorry. Oh, this one's easy. So when we go to our sorry, no, not that one. For this one, we are going to our game. Oh, sorry, I can't get the thing to work. There we go. We go into our options and extras and achievement. We disable it, and then we enable it, and then we enable it again. There we go. So our achievement is enabled. Back. So that one's done. So now if we go back to our Steam page, there we go. So go outside needs us to not play for 5 years. Well, I'm not going to keep the stream going for 5 years, and I will forget to come back in 5 years. This one I'll have another go at in a minute. There is a certain thing you have to do. I am now cheating, I apologise. I'm looking through to see what I have to do for each one, just so that I can show you guys. There are certain, so it's not just a speed run. There are certain what's and flips you have to reach, meet as well. Requirements you have to meet. Next is unachievable. This one requires you to change the game code. And I've got a list of quite explicit instructions of how to do that. But I'm not going to do it right now because it will take ages. I will do it after I finish the stream because I want to, and I want the achievement. And then this one requires me to pay it for 24 hours on a Tuesday, which, as I've already said, is not Tuesday. And I don't think I could play this game for 24 hours because there isn't 24 hours worth of game to play. So, if we go back to the game, from what I've said to you there are 2 more that we can do. So the first one we're going to do is the speed run. So let's go back. Just going to quickly check what I need to do. Okay, begin game. So in order to get this speed run, when we go into the mind control facility, we have to use the desks to jump over the gate and get onto the catwalk whilst they're still rising, which is fine. We've got another 10 minutes of this stream, so I should be able to do the speed run and then the last achievement I can get.
Hoping he might come into a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So this should automatically open.
Stepping into his manager's office,
It didn't.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
2,
indication of
8,
any
4,
human
5.
life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments.
Okay, so I won't be able to do the... I'm not going to be able to do the speed run on this run because I need that to open by itself to do the speed run. So I'm going to have to do this a few more times.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated.
Sorry, I'm just... Okay.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Can I? No, okay. But what I can do is I can practice this jumping thing.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question was not
Right, let's go, let's go. Round here,
Stanley walked straight
down
ahead
here.
to the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Now, apparently, I should be able to get onto the desk
Lights
somehow.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he
I
have
can't
the
for this
strength
one,
to find out?
so it'll have to be the next one that I have to do it on.
Now,
Supposedly, I should be able to get onto this desk.
each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally
I don't know how I'm supposed to do that.
where freedom meant nothing.
So supposedly,
This mind control
you can climb onto these desks and then over the edge of the gate.
Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with?
But as I can't, and I don't particularly want to see the ending again, I'm just going to jump back. Oh. Oh, I don't know what's happened. Okay. Begin the game again. Don't know what happened there.
All
There
of
we
the
go.
workers were gone. What could it mean?
Right, so I can't do that achievement because I don't know how. So the last achievement is in the office.
Two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
So we go to the office.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the
Okay.
keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look,
3,
it's a new
4,
passageway.
1.
Kill surprise.
1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So I got an achievement for putting 8 into that 8 times. I want to see if I can have another go at getting across the bridge before I'm supposed to. Here we go. Round we go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Here we are. So supposedly I can get onto this desk, but I have no idea how.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No, I can't. Okay. We don't want to see the ending again, so I am going to call it there. I'd like to thank everyone so much for sticking with me. I know it wasn't necessarily the most interesting stream. Well, I say that I quite enjoyed it, so you might have enjoyed it as well. It did get a bit repetitive just because I was trying to get those achievements towards the end just to stretch the stream out a bit, but overall I really like the game. I think it's a really interesting way. No, what was I going to say? Sorry. I think it's a really interesting game. I think it's really well made. I think it's very different from anything else I've ever played, which is, a nice change of pace. Feels really good. And yeah, I really liked it. I'm going to, as I say, leave it there. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. If you want to see more of my content, you can subscribe and click the bell icon to get a notification whenever I post a new video. If I miss something during this game, or there's something about this game you particularly like, please do leave it in the comments below. I read all of the comments and I try to reply to as many as I can. And I really like connecting with you guys about all sorts of gaming stuff, so just do leave it in the comments below. You can also see all through the video I've had my Twitter handle at the bottom of the page. It might have been at the top of the page for gameplay. So, if you want updates about what's going to happen on the channel, or if you would like to read some of my tweets about various gaming stuff I'm doing outside of the channel, they go on there. And I would love to see you follow me. I'd love to, interact with the community. And just talk about gaming. It would be great. So that's the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week for an intro 2.